Welcome to this explainer on Django for Professionals, where we're going to look at how to build Django the right way. You know, most Django tutorials out there do a truly fantastic job of teaching you the basics of how to put a project together. But very few actually teach you how to build an application that can survive the harsh realities of a production environment. So today we're taking a deep dive into the source material to explore exactly how to build a production-ready Django application that can actually survive the real world.
If you've ever fired up a fresh Django project, you know it is beautifully designed for rapid local development. Out of the box, it gives you an SQLite database, a built-in user model, a local development server, and all your debugging tools turned on by default. And honestly, that is absolutely perfect when you're just learning. But if you take that exact setup and push it directly to the internet, you are in for a world of pain. The gap between a demo app and a real production application is simply enormous. Professional Django is all about replacing those friendly defaults with robust tools built for reliability, security, and scalability.
So, the crucial point is this. Production isn't about writing more code. It's about making the right architectural decisions from day one. It requires a complete shift in your mindset. You're no longer just writing code to make a feature work on your laptop. You are designing a solid architecture that's going to behave predictably and securely no matter where it ends up being deployed.
Section 1. Docker and Database Foundation. Setting up for success.
By default, Django uses SQLite, right? Which is great, but it stores everything inside a single file. That's perfectly fine locally, but production applications really need a robust engine like Postgre. But here's the catch. How do we ensure our local setup matches our production setup perfectly? Well, instead of relying only on a Python virtual environment, professional developers package the entire application using Docker. A Docker file defines exactly how the application image is built, and a Docker Compose file starts multiple containers together, like one for your web server and one for your Postgre database. The result? Development and production behave exactly the same. No more saying, well, it works on my machine.
Section 2. Architecture and Secrets. Protecting your core.
Okay, let's dive into this because relying on Django's built-in user model is a massive trap for professional projects. Django's default user model is deeply interwoven with the rest of the framework internally. If you decide, say, months into a project that you actually want users to log in with an email address instead of a username, or maybe you just want to add a custom status field, switching over mid-project is an absolute nightmare. The source material makes this super clear. You really need to create a custom user model from the very beginning. By just creating a simple class called user that extends abstract user and pointing your settings to it, you completely future-proof your app. Even if you don't need a single extra field today, implementing this simple little code snippet before you run your first migration prevents an absolute world of hurt halfway through your project's lifecycle.
Another absolute must for your core architecture is keeping your secrets out of version control. Never, ever commit your Django secret key, your database passwords, or your API keys to Git. Literally all it takes is one bad commit, and anyone with access to the repository has full control over your project. The professional standard here, which is based on the 12-factor app methodology, is to load configuration dynamically using environment variables. By storing values like your database URL in a local file that Git ignores, the exact same codebase can be safely deployed anywhere.
Section 3. Security and Performance. Scaling up safely.
In development, running Django with the debug setting turned to true is incredibly helpful because it gives you those nice, detailed stack traces when you make a mistake. But in production, it is literally a roadmap for hackers, completely exposing your internal logic and variables. Professional apps force debug defaults and rely on strict allowed host configurations. But it doesn't stop there. The source stresses implementing secure cookies, forcing HTTP strict transport security, and ensuring SSL redirects are enabled, just so malicious actors can't sniff traffic for your authentication credentials.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when we shift our focus to performance. As projects grow, the database almost always becomes the bottleneck. We're looking at a classic example of the N+1 query problem here. Imagine a page listing 10 books, and for every single book, the database is queried again to fetch its author or its reviews. One page load suddenly triggers dozens of similar duplicate database queries, which is going to completely bog down your server.
The real code solutions to this problem are two incredibly powerful ORM methods provided by Django: select-related and prefetch-related. Select-related is used for foreign key relationships. It basically creates a SQL join under the hood, pulling in related data in a single complex database query. Prefetch-related, on the other hand, is used for many-to-many relationships, and it does the heavy lifting by joining separate lookups using Python.
By utilizing these methods, you can often drop the number of database queries on a single page from 15 or 20 down to just 4 or 5. It's a total game changer.
A crucial reminder here is that we really shouldn't immediately blame the programming language when things get slow. Most performance problems aren't actually caused by Python. They're caused by unnecessary database queries. The professional workflow is to use tools like Django Debug Toolbar first to measure and profile your application, see exactly where the database is choking, and then apply targeted optimizations like caching, indexing, or those ORM methods we just talked about.
Section 4. Deployment and final takeaway.
When it's finally time to deploy, your professional setup means you are simply swapping out your local settings for production ones. Instead of Django's local server, you'll use a robust server like Junicorn. And you'll likely use a tool like White Noise to efficiently serve your static files. So, let's rapid fire through a checklist of the amateur mistakes you absolutely must avoid in your next build. Number 1. Don't use SQLite in production. Never keep debug set to true. Never commit secrets to Git. Don't start a project with the default user model. Don't build custom authentication from scratch when proven, secure packages like Django AllAuth already exist. And finally, never optimize your code before you actually measure where the bottlenecks are.
Which brings us to our final, provocative thought. If your production app doesn't start with your very first start project command, when does it? Professional Django isn't about learning a secret set of APIs right before you launch. It is a mindset. It's about setting up Docker, utilizing PostgreSQL, configuring a custom user model, and managing environment variables from day one. I hope this explainer gives you the tools and the confidence to build Django the right way on your very next project.